Hi there, Rabbi. It's time for another in our series, How to Make America Good Again. Not great, but good. And the topic that you want to talk about today is knowledge and intellectual exchange as a process. Now, this is one that's near to my heart because I do, among my other skills, patent illustration. People come to me with ideas for inventions all the time, but they're terrified that I'm going to steal them or that somebody else will steal them, and all sorts of secretive measures are taken. Whereas once they show it to me, I say, "Oh, I know a guy who could help you make this better." And they say, "No, no, no." And invariably, their idea fizzles or fades away and nothing gets done with it because they're afraid of sharing and exchanging information because they think ultimately everybody's out to get them.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean that they're not out to get you. No, it's not. All our three Abrahamic religions and Hinduism and Buddhism all teach knowledge and exchange. They all teach there's a danger when a government, a politician, a spiritual leader won't let you read books or ban something. And we can look at the history of the known universe. And every time knowledge and intellectual exchange has been banned or stopped, it led to the downfall of the empire. Even though we may get a dictator, you may get someone in charge, or there may be a group in charge, it ultimately leads to the end. And that's what we want to focus on this episode is the importance as stressed by our three Abrahamic religions and Hinduism and Buddhism. I don't know where to start because there are just so many texts in Judaism. Wisdom is supreme. Book of Proverbs. Get wisdom. Get understanding. Acquire yourself a teacher. Study. The Talmud. Study leads to action. And Deuteronomy. Teach them diligently to your children. Judaism stresses learning is a divine command and intellectual exchange, debate, discussion, commentary. And anytime when we look at the history of Judaism, when this was stopped, a country went into decline. The height of Islam was when Jews and Muslims interacted. It's called the golden age of Judaism. Universities, medicine. And then during the same time, the Western world was during the Middle Ages, and wisdom was not pursued, and things were stopped. And you had the plague, you had disease, you had people dying early. There's two perfect examples. Now, it was the Roman Catholic Church that kept knowledge and study alive in monasteries. Because even though the governments during the Middle Ages blocked knowledge, blocked exchange, blocked studying, the church recognized that you had to teach. The Lord gives wisdom, and from God's mouth comes knowledge and understanding. And Timothy, all scripture is God, useful for teaching. Epistle to the Romans, be transformed by renewing of your mind. And the Gospel of St. Luke, Jesus engages in dialogue and with teachers. So Christianity again emphasizes what Judaism emphasizes. And if we go back to my example of the when Islam controlled and the Christian kings controlled, and you see the difference in health and welfare and discoveries. And during that period, it was the Roman Catholic Church that kept the spark, that kept a little flame, because the church knew and understood that stopping knowledge, discouraging knowledge, putting ignorant people in charge as teachers will lead to the end of society. And it has done that historically. Islam. The Prophet Muhammad always stressed the importance of seeking knowledge. And I just mentioned that under Islamic rule. Scientific discussion. You know, we use numbers Where did our numbers come from? Islam. Arabic numerals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to do calculus. Try to put a shuttle into space. Try to go to Mars using Roman numerals. You're not going to get there, Joe. And so many of the discoveries under Islam in medicine are still true today. And Islam teaches knowledge leads to nearness of God. The Quran, increase my knowledge, O Lord. Read in the name of your Lord. Those who know equal to those who do not know? No. The Quran asks us that. The Quran answers our own question. And if we'll notice, what's the first thing the terrorists do? They close the schools. They don't let women get an education. They censor the books. That's the first thing a dictator does to stop people from thinking, to stop things from growing. And again, I would point to history. Throughout Europe, throughout the Far East, anywhere you look, South America, anywhere you go, when education, knowledge, and intellectual exchange was stopped or suppressed, that was truly the end. Buddhism, wisdom, is one of the three jewels, along with morality and meditation. Study and questioning is one of the eight of the Noble Eightfold Path. Dialogue. It's the texts are always full of dialogue, discussion, personal verification, not blind belief. Don't believe something just because it was written in an old book. Don't believe something just because an old rabbi said it. Study it, test it, look out the window. But you can only do that if you have access to knowledge and a free exchange. Hinduism. Again, Hinduism stresses the same thing. One of the paths to liberation is understanding, is knowledge, is teaching, and not believing in any one single belief. And our three Abrahamic religions, Buddhism and Hinduism, all say to us there is not only one way to understanding. Many of our cults and religions in the United States today have the my way or the highway philosophy, and that has never had a good outcome. And it's not consistent with Christianity. Jesus didn't teach it. Muhammad didn't teach it. It's not written in the Vedas. It's not written anywhere. In fact, just the opposite is true. Seeking knowledge is a divine obligation, and wisdom will lead to liberation and freedom. So each of our traditions sees intellectual exchange through study, dialogue, reflection as a path to moral, spiritual, and communal development. That means we have to listen to each other and not dismiss someone else just because they have something else to say or they don't hold on to our own beliefs.
And it's become a platitude throughout the ages. Keep an open mind, but an open mind doesn't do you any good if there's nothing coming to let into it. Well, thank you as always, Rabbi. I like to keep an open mind all the time, but I never have to worry about what's coming from you because it's always good advice.
To those listening and watching, keep in mind that just because we listen and study another religion, another philosophy, doesn't mean ours is wrong. It doesn't mean we have to convert or switch. In fact, more often than not, listening to other people's beliefs and practices helps solidify our own without giving up anything or without degrading the other person.